Hey guys, Darth Lork here, back with part 2 of our Everlasting Summer playthrough. So, last time, we started our particular little journey. We found ourselves in Russia, of all places, and our dude here was just, he's like this like shut-in guy from this random town, and I'm like Russia, I guess. And I think he said rubles, and I think rubles is the currency in Russia, possibly. Anyway, and so, but then he was on this bus trip, and then he actually found himself in this. Suddenly it was summer, and he's like back in time, possibly, because apparently all these people are all wearing like stuff that apparently is historical. I mean, it's not like I know the history of Russia, so I don't know. But anyway, apparently there are all these girls. He's at this like summer camp, and all these girls are wearing like uniforms of something historical, and it means more to him than it does to me. But yeah, and so he was, I think, overly freaking out and overly suspicious. But you know what do I know? Anyway, and that's where we are basically. So first of all, happy Tuesday. Sorry for the lack of uploads yesterday, and on top of that, the lack of information. But so something came up and I forgot to post about it, and then so anyway, so the plan is, if I at all can this week, I will be posting Tuesday through Saturday this week. So we'll still get our 5 days, no big deal. The other thing is there is a positive anime review coming out soon. I will probably record the audio today and probably do the editing tomorrow, so it might be up tomorrow. In addition to my other videos, I'm gonna try and space it out as such that I can get both of my gaming videos done and that, if at all possible. We'll see how well it works, but that's the hope. Anyway, and I think that's everything, so let's hop into it. So apparently, I was having a dream. It seemed like I was in some kind of vacuum with nothing but nothing around me. Or with nothing but nothing around me? I feel like that's just whatever. But not only around, I was the only creature in the universe. As if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang. Big Bang, let a load. And something was just about to happen. Suddenly, I heard a voice. I could not make out the words, but it sounded familiar. The voice was whispering something gently, as if soothing me. And then I realized. It was the voice of that strange girl from the bus. The girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? Yes, the girl when she's like, will you come with me? And we had a choice, and I was like, heck yeah. Oh yeah, so the cabin that we're sharing is with the leader chick. Is with the head of the camp, basically. And your character's like, what, really? We're sharing a room? And then she's like, you have a problem with that? He's like, no. So, she's very intimidating. Very hot, but very intimidating. I woke up. Good, it sounded like a weird dream. Bright sunlight struck my eyes. I like the music. So a couple things. The music in this game so far seems really good, and the art style is really cool. So, 2 positive things I have to say about it. Anyway, it was almost noon. Wow, he slept in a long time. I mean, dude, freaking same. I woke up way too late today. After stretching lazily on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In a few seconds, all its events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here. It was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Because yesterday, I fell asleep here just like that. And before that, I chatted nicely with the local pioneers, even managed to crack a few jokes. How could I act like that in such a situation? What? You mean actually, take a deep breath? Yeah, God forbid, right? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling, should avoid all contact with the potentially hostile creatures. Seriously? Seriously? His attitude for me just blows me away. I don't understand. The last day's events were getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This reality feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct became the nightmare in the morning, a grotesque illustration from the Divine Comedy. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around, trying to figure out whether I had been thrown somewhere else, but Olga's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Everything seemed to be in its place, except for a pioneer uniform which was hanging from the bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least this is better than walking around in winter clothes. That's true, it's probably way too hot for that. Wish I could see myself, but I look like a clown. And for that, I needed a mirror. At least a tiny one. I finally found one on the wardrobe door. Holy! I looked at the newfound pioneer and jumped away in surprise. There are some teenagers on there's a teenager on the other side of the mirror. He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where are all the bags under my eyes? The slouch, the deathly fatigue on my face. I am right here, okay? It seemed that I had not been thrown back in time into a parallel reality, but simply had changed bodies with someone else. Right, that's real simple. Such things happen every day. I took a closer look at this stranger and only then realized that it actually was me. It wasn't just today's me, maybe the one from between my school and university years. Well, that makes sense. The rest of these girls are a bunch of teenagers, so now you are too. So now you blend in. That's better. I mean, otherwise some, you know, like super sketchy, bags under his eyes, stubble guy is wandering around this teenager's like camp. That's pretty sketchy. Anyway. Well, at least that's something. There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. But the camp leader noticed it, and last night she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been such a jerk. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, breakfast was long over. Oh well, I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday with Slavia, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The sun was shining brightly outside, a light breeze was blowing. A beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All the problems were gone, vanished into clouds that were white as snow. Olga came out of nowhere. Hey, look, there she is. I love her cute little hat. Anyway, good morning, Semyon. Morning. I smiled, doing my best to show that no matter what, my morning was indeed good. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up, but breakfast... Oh, never mind. Here, take this. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judged by the oily stains, it had to be sandwiches inside. Oh, thank you. Now go wash yourself. I was about to leave. Wait a second. Olga quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag into my hands. Inside it, I found a toothbrush, soap, small towel, and something else. I didn't look too closely. A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. Let me do your neckerchief properly this first time. Yours is askew. I mean, just like everything else that you see as appearance. You should do it yourself once you learn how to. So we have to? I'm gonna go wash myself now. Yeah, right, it could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine, later then. And don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines, you don't forget such things. What lineup? What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's Monday today. Weird, but my approximation is today should be Sunday. Then again, a shit on the days of the week is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the morning before breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we have it starting at noon. Don't be late. Alright, but where? At the square. Where else? There was no reason to argue. I headed to the bathing place. I knew I could forget about separate showers and toilets, but at the sight of this malfunctioning symptom of decaying socialism, wow, that's a mouthful, a funny turtle with a tin shell, paw taps, and a ceramic belly, I felt sick. I was not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there, I realized that there was still some minimal level of habitual comfort, which I found it troublesome to do without. Dude, freaking same! Look how awful this is. Anyway, it's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand just how essential they were. Ah, screw this, as if I have any choice. The water was ice cold. While washing my hands was not an issue, washing my face and mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag, which Olga gave me. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in the towel. Tooth powder. Tooth powder? That sounds awful. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, also due to the ice-cold water. Someone was coming up quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around. It was Slavia, dressed in a tracksuit. This girl could probably look good on anything. Pioneer uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. Probably, look at her. Hey there. I think he's trying to speak in a different language, but I'm not entirely positive. Good morning. Yeah. Oh yeah, real smooth. Why didn't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said it as if I was proud about it, but Olga gave me some sandwiches. Oh, great then. Don't forget about the lineup. Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Right, I gotta run. Enjoy yourself. She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the path's bend. Looks like it's a couple of minutes until the lineup. I should quickly pass by my home to drop off my washing bag and eat these sandwiches and then head to the square. I swung open the door to the camp leader's cabin and rushed inside as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. It didn't turn out to be a bad idea because inside I found Olga. Oh no. Oh no. Wow, listen to the heavy metal kick in. They're just like, buckle up. You're about to get hit in the head with a bat. My guess, I think she's probably changing. So this is going to be an adventure. I wonder if I'll be able to find a creative way to edit this, should anything illicit come on screen. Let's see. I think historically I just have to cut it out, but we'll have to see what happens. Who was changing? Ha, called it. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. Finally, the camp leader noticed me. Semyon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard of knocking? Now get out! Oh, wow, they just straight up didn't show it. Alright, cool. Well, hey, that's less editing for me. Yeah, that was real clumsy. Although I did enjoy the sight. Olga followed me out in a minute. She's probably upset. Here, take this. Now it is your home, too. Wow, she's like oddly chill. Anyway, she handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard the fantastical, or how fantastical the elements were, the camp was far from being the worst place on Earth, but to call it home? Just after one day spent here, I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Alright, let's go. We're late. But what about the sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. Wow, she was oddly, like, really chill, considering. Anyway, we were passing along the lines of the pioneers' cabins while I was tucking into the ham sandwiches, and Olga kept on talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. Oh, that's rude. But I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening. Sorry. Today is the first day of your new life as a pioneer, and you should do your best so that it becomes a happy life. Yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties, great responsibilities is conferred upon him. To participate in social work, to help his juniors, to study and study and study again. We're here all like one big family. Maybe like we here, that makes more sense. And you will become a part of it. Yeah, a part. I'd even say a party membership card so it could save me from listening to this nonsense. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. This world appears to be so friendly, but it never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday? It seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, and I'm forbidden from asking questions. Of course, this situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad place is better than a good dispute. The most important thing for you now is to make the best of the time you will spend here. I'll do my best. Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It would be good to know where that here is. But yeah, no one seems to want to tell you. We came to the square. The pioneers were already lined up. What, is someone not here yet? Huh? Nope, all here. She looked around at her brave pioneer troops. Alright, go stand somewhere. Weird. Why did she tell me when there was no sleeping place that there are no more sleeping places? While the chief was running her mouth about our plans for the week, I stared at the people. A few heads away from me stood Electronic, a little further Lena and Slavia, and at the end of the line, Ilyana and Alyssa. Everyone I had met was here. Olga spoke about some competitions, and I turned my attention to the monument. Genda. I could not, or maybe it's Genda. I don't know if it's Genda or Genda. I'm gonna say Genda, I guess. Genda. I could not remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with disgust, maybe contempt, or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? It's like, probably. Slavia brought me back to reality. Olga stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? I will never forget the plan. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. Slavia handed me a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse and a musical club in the separate building. Then visit the infirmary, and finally visit the library. Got it? Yes. The checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go to places I haven't been before. Then come on, start right now. Or maybe like, then come on, start right now, or something like that. What about lunch? Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Good luck. They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. Miss breakfast? No, I'll miss lunch too. Well, you didn't really miss it because she's giving you food, so suck it up. Anyway, this ain't good. Maybe I'll manage it in time somehow? Lunch starts at 1 p.m. Then again, if I'll go there and I might miss a place from the checklist. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyway. Oh, whoa, I got choices, kids, I got choices. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Right. So did you notice earlier when he was talking and he was saying that how he's like, why did she say that all the cabins were full? And that is pretty suspicious because like, look at all these cabins. Like, look at all of these cabins. And she's like, nope, everything's full. So it looks like you have to do kind of like the buddy system. It looks like because everyone has a double. You know what I mean? And so it looks like, I guess that little dude with the square head, I guess that's you. Anyway, but yeah, so obviously, so it does make you wonder what's up with that. Oh, look, see, look, there's even more cabins over here. And look, you can see there's 2 more. Anyway, so they're everywhere. So we have library, infirmary, kitchen, dining hall, music club, clubhouse, and then this club. So lots of places. Let's go ahead and probably check out the library. Oh, I think she said to go get a club first. Whatever. Actually, I love reading, but spending my days in the library under the current circumstances was well beyond my scope, so I'd better hurry up with this checkpoint. As I stepped inside, a memory from my childhood emerged in my head. It was very vivid. I'm 7 or 8 years old. I'm at the library with my mother. While she's looking through the books I might need for my studies, I'm sitting in the corner and looking through their collection of comic books. Back then, I didn't know why they had so many or why I couldn't take some with me. The notion of collective property was something my mind hadn't grasped yet at that age. However, back when the whole concept of property was pretty hazy to me, the memory seemed even stronger now while I was standing at this particular camp where they might have managed to build communism in 3 years. Soviet symbolism was all over the place, and the shelves were full of related literature. Of course, I wasn't planning on reading any of these. Getting acquainted with the full collection of books by Marx was the last thing on earth I would think of. I mean, he was like 7. Where's the librarian? I didn't spend much time looking for her. I looked closely. Well, well! Short hair, thick glasses, rather cute face. She was snoring so peacefully I just couldn't wake her up. I can wait. If she doesn't wake up in half an hour, maybe then. I couldn't just sit there, so I took a random book from the nearest bookshelf. Arthur somebody, The World as Will and Representation. I opened it roughly in the middle and started reading. The life of a man with its endless upkeep, wants, and suffering is to be regarded as an explanation and paraphrase of the procreative act, i.e. the absolute claim of the will to live, and furthermore, it is also the reason the man owes nature his death and thinks with anxiety and of this debt. It is not the evidence that our existence involves guilt. At any rate, we always exist from time to time, paying with death for our birth. We always exist and alternatively bear all of the joy and sorrow of life. Since neither of both can pass us without some effort, that is the result of our stated will to live. Good Lord, I already hate listening, reading this dude. I already hate reading this. This guy's already annoying. Thus the fear of death, which is spite of all the miseries of life, holds us firmly to it, is really elusive, but just as elusive as the impulse which has attracted us to it. The attraction itself may be seen objectively as the mutual longing glances of two lovers. They are the purest expression of the will to live. In its affirmation, how gentle and tender it is. It wants happiness and quiet pleasure, and mild joys for itself, for others, for all. Someone knocks on the door. Thank the Lord. Whoever that is, saved me from having to read that anymore. I closed the book quickly and put it back in its place. Like you could tell it was just tell already that it was a philosophical high education book because my brain immediately started snoring. So anyway, I closed the book quickly and put it back in its place. What a nice habit, knocking on the door. I should pick it up. No kidding. It was Lena. Oh, hello, Lena. Hi. I smiled. I just wanted to return a book. She had a copy of Gone with the Wind that I saw yesterday. Oh, Xenia is sleeping. I'll come back later. I'm awake. Well, hello. I turned around in surprise to look at her. She eyed me closely from behind her table. What is it you wanted? I need to check here. I need you to check here. Give it here. She quickly signed the paper and gave it back to me. She had the look on her face that made me want to keep quiet. Probably. She's kind of intense. Lena came up to her to return her book. I thanked Xenia and went out. Alright, there's the library. I guess now we should, haul straight to the clubs. I went to the clubhouse. To tell the truth, I never really liked extracurricular activities. Dude, freaking same! I have always hated extracurricular activities at school. At school, I used to find any excuse to skip extra classes. Same. At university, I had no interest in participating in the student council. I'm in college, but it's really low end, so I would say pretty much same. I wasn't interested in boxing, aero modeling, or sewing, so I came here just to check off the box. That's right. That's it. Nobody was here. I found myself in something like a hut of a junior robot enthusiast. There were wires and simple printed circuits scattered everywhere. Chips, and on the table proudly stood something. I heard voices from another room, and then 2 pioneers appeared. Hey, look, it's dudes. Oh, okay, well, I think I met that one before. One was electronic, the other one I didn't know. I guess he's probably the one I don't know. Hi, Semyon. We've been expecting you. It seems he knows everything about everyone. Why were you expecting me? Well, of course, because you had to sign up for our you came to sign up for our cybernetics club, didn't you? He didn't let me answer. And this is Shurik. He's in charge here. I assume there's only 2 of you in the club? Well, you could say that it's 3 now. Shurik came up to me and assertively offered his hand. His face was somewhat familiar. Is it? Welcome to the club. Yep. Now I'll show you around. Make yourself at home. Guys, I just wanted to... We always welcome new members. He said it in such a way that the anthem of the Soviet Union suddenly started playing in my head. It's amazing. I even remembered the words. In the 1st grade, I had a textbook with the lyrics in the back. No, I just wanted you to sign my checklist. Yep, you sign up to the club, we'll sign your checklist. He grinned. Dang it. I was getting ready for a long and boring argument, but then I heard someone enter. I looked back and saw Slavia. Ah, Semyon, I hope they're not giving you any trouble. She narrowed her eyes, looking at the future of the motherland's robotics industry. I know these 2. They can. Well, you know, obviously I just need to get my checklist signed. I decided to take advantage of the situation. No problem, give it to me. Ha ha! Slavia took the paper and marched up to Shurik. Sign it. Hold on, we're not done yet. You're done. Sign it now. She gave Shurik such a threatening look that it made him lose every possible objection. He wrote some squiggles on the checklist. I thanked Slavia, and then I moved on in a mellow mood. Oh, Slavia, thank you for saving me from having to sign up with that. All right, music club next. The music club, a small 1-level building, was located some distance from the other camp buildings. I opened the door and entered without hesitation. There were enough instruments for a whole orchestra here. Drums, guitars, even a piano. I spent some time looking closely at every instrument, wanting to guess the time period they were from, but suddenly I heard a crawling around coming from underneath the piano. Well, look what I found! No, a girl. Seems like she was looking for something. She was standing on all fours. If she's standing, she's not on all fours. I'm gonna say kneeling. She was kneeling on all fours in such a suggestive pose that I hesitated to ask at first. Excuse me? Ah, who's there? I mean, you made her hit her head. She tried to stand up, but the bottom of the piano prevented her from doing so. Ow! Sorry. Dude, she looks like Hatsune Miku. Anyway, she struggled out. Sorry, I scared you. It's nothing. Oh, you got a checklist. You must be new here. Yes. My name is Miku. Oh my gosh, she is Hatsune Miku! Whoa! My mother's Japanese. Whoa! She actually is Hatsune Miku. I can't believe it. I'm meeting a celebrity. I'm not worthy. Well, that's hysterical. That's so funny. Okay, sorry. That was just I was so caught off guard. I didn't expect that. I met a celebrity. That's so exciting. No, really, I'm serious. No one believes me, but it's my real name. My mother's Japanese. My dad met her when he was building. Well, it wasn't him who was building. He's an engineer. And he was working on a nuclear power plant here, or there, or a dam, or a bridge, whatever. She was talking so fast, she swallowed half the words she tried to pronounce. I'm Semyon. Great, want to be in our club? It's only me here now, but it'll be the 2 of us then. Do you play anything? When I became antisocial, I bought a guitar and learned a few chords, but then I forgot about it, since I quit everything that required more than a couple of hours to learn. You know, I wasn't planning to do anything like that, really. Oh, it's okay, I'll teach you. Maybe a trumpet, for example? How about a violin? I know it all, honestly. There was no point in arguing with the orchestra girl, since there was only another couple of words waiting to blast at me. Hey, I'll think about it. Can you just sign it for now? Yeah, sure, give it to me. Be sure to come around. I'll sing too. I'll sing you some Japanese folk songs, or maybe if you're not into that, something more contemporary. Sure, thanks, gotta go now. Of course, come anytime. Man, she's hot, just like the real Miku. Anyway, the end of her sentence stayed inside. It might be nice to hang around with a guitar in the evening, but in such company, I mean, she's pretty high energy. I turned to leave and came face to face with Alyssa. Alyssa is an aggressive girl. She kind of scares me. She eyed me suspiciously. Why did you come? The checklist? Got it signed? Yes. Then move it. It's like, all right, sorry. Alyssa went inside and I hurried to leave. I mean, who could blame you? She's a really intense girl. What's the point of visiting the infirmary? My health was fine. The fresh local air clearly did me some good. I felt fresher than usual. But I just have to visit it. I entered. Is there a hot doctor in here? A common infirmary like my school's doctor's room. Like my school Oh, there is! I called it! It's like I knew. And she is very hot. A middle-aged woman sat at the table. Obviously, she was a nurse. She gazed intently at me, assessing me while continuing to write something. What is this music right now? Why does this sound like we're like a strip club? What is this? Anyway, sorry. Well, hello, Pioneer. said the nurse without being distracted from her work. Good afternoon, ma'am. I have something. Sit down, please. I looked around the room. On the couch, I sat down. Strip. She said all of it with an even tone. What for? To inspect, I don't know what that word is. I don't know. Assess, whatever. To check on your health, you know. By the way, my name's, Violetta? I feel like if you pronounce it too much, like Violetta, like, that's super overpronounced. Like, would you just say, like Valletta, more or less? I mean, maybe I'm wrong in that. Ah, Viola. There we go. I can pronounce that, I think. I think so, yeah, that's how you pronounce that. Viola? Viola, maybe? She turned to me. What are you waiting for? Strip. But I have no health issues. I've got this. I neatly gave her the paper. Later. She took the stethoscope off her neck, seeming like she intended to probe me with it. But then someone knocked on the door. The nurse answered unwillingly. Come in. In a moment, the door answered widely and electronic rushed inside. Hey, or hello, I fell during the football game. Nothing nonsense, of course, I'm okay, but Olga, there was a massive bruise under Electronic's eye. I doubt this could have been a football injury. Sit down, I'll have a look, she said to him. She's probably upset that she didn't get to see me strip, so you know. And you, pass me your checklist. The nurse quickly signed it and continued. If something hurts, come to me immediately, pioneer. She kind of scares me. I decided not to answer and went out, closing the door behind me. Wow, she was intense. That nurse is surely something else. Yeah, she is something else, I'll say that. Finally, I got all of the signatures. Now I had to go back to Olga and give it to her. She was sitting in front of her cabin reading a book. Doesn't look like a good role model for a perfect pioneer like she was planning to turn me into. I wonder if her responsibilities extended beyond fiery speeches at the lineup, scolding Ulyana, and getting involved into my moral, physical, and ideological growth. Here, I offered her my checklist. She placed it in her pocket without even looking at the signatures. Great, I could have signed it myself without going anywhere. Perfect, so, did you meet our nurse? Yes. For some reason, her question sent shivers down my spine. Which club have you signed up for? I didn't. I need to think first. That's a pity. It's vital for you to sign in somewhere tomorrow. Of course, sure. Right, it's time to go to dinner. About time, I was getting hungry. And she didn't bring me sandwiches. So I must actually be kind of hungry. I headed to the canteen together with Olga. I looked at the sky and noticed that sun was already setting. On the porch stood Alyssa, Electronic, Ulyana, and Slavia. As we came up, I heard what they were talking about. And never call me, Dvache? I don't know how to pronounce that, or you'll get another one. I didn't call you that, you're hearing things. He did, I heard it all. You weren't even there. I was in the bushes. Oh, so he called her last name, I guess, or that nickname, whatever it is, and she got pissed and she punched him. I bet you that's what happened. Anyway, in the bushes. Come on, you guys, stop it. So it wasn't a football injury Electronic suffered earlier today. Ah, I told you, but he's already healed. What a strapping young lad. The nurse did a good job. I couldn't even see his black eye. What could she possibly have done? Anyway, whatever. Olga came out to them and asked about the ruckus. What happened? Alyssa and Cheesekov. I didn't do anything. She struggled with, I don't know what that was. She struggled with something and went inside. Right, dinner time. I'm illiterate. I don't know what to tell you. I answered last. Sorry, there weren't too many free seats. If so, they just said all the cabins were full. She said this was everyone. So who are all these people? So many questions. Like, who are all these people if this, she's like, yep, this is everybody. Like, this is like 6 people. Like, and there's people we met that weren't even there. Like the librarian, for instance. Anyway, whatever. There weren't too many free seats. There were a few chairs near Alyssa, across the canteen, but I would sooner starve for a week or 2 than risk my head near her. Yeah, I don't blame you. There was also a seat near Ulyana, but I'm not into traditional Chinese whatever crawls cuisine. That's fair. Finally, a free chair near Miku. Looks like I'll have to pick my poison. You mind if I sit here? Oh yeah, sure. I mean, no, I don't mind. I mean, yes, you can sit there. I would love to sit near Miku. Great choice. I would have chosen the same. I sat down. Look, it's buckwheat today. Do you like buckwheat and chicken? I don't like chicken. Well, not that I don't like it. But if you ask me what would I prefer, say stroganoff beef or ragout? No, maybe just a hamburger or a rump steak. Do you like rump steak? Holy crap, she speaks fast. I'm not that picky about my food, and that's the simple truth. Oh, is that so? But the desserts, you know, they aren't really good here. I like ice cream. Do you like ice cream? I just love 48 kopecks and something else. Oh, sorry, I keep talking about myself. So those two things, it's ice cream brands popular in the late Soviet Union. Okay, all right, got you. They're ice cream brands, got it. You know, like whatever, like Bluebell or whatever. Anyway, maybe you like Eskimo better. Dinner was starting to get on my nerves thanks to such company, and I'm not the kind of person that could just ignore someone who's talking to them, even her. We're at the same table after all. You know, I once bought a waffle cone and started eating, and then you know what? I found a screw there. A real screw, can you imagine that? Or was it a bolt? I don't really know. Screws are those that you tighten with screwdrivers, and bolts are those that you tighten with a wrench, yes? Exactly! If there was a speed eating contest going on, I would probably be in the top 3 winners by now. Alright, I'll be going. Enjoy your meal. I got up and headed outside. Miku was saying something, but her words were drowned by the crowd of loudly dining pioneers. Yeah, that girl speaks fast. She talks a lot. But to be fair, those people in some ways are kind of easy to hang out with, because if they talk that fast, you could just kind of, you know, just like nod and listen. Like, so if you don't want to talk, sometimes those people are nice to hang out with, because then they'll just talk it all, and they probably won't even notice you're not speaking. It's kind of nice that way. Anyway, I went out and sat on the stairs waiting for my dinner to settle down a bit. I just sat there and watched night falling. Everything is so lively here during the day, kids laughing and yelling loudly, fooling and running around, constant chatter, games going on, and swimming at the beach. But after dark, the camp changes entirely. The sounds of day were swapped by silence, only now and then broken by crickets chirping or a night bird. The camp was going to sleep. In every shadow you could see things, maybe a ghost or a spirit of the forest or a wild animal. A human being would be the last thing to expect. That is how it looked last night and now. The locals followed their routine very strictly. In the day, the camp was theirs. In the night, it belonged more to the forces of nature than to humans. Someone touched my shoulder. I looked back. It was electronic. Let's go play cards. Cards? Yep, I invented a new game. A good one. Good? Like how? Well, first we gotta find cards, and then I'll tell you. Then go find them. What's the problem? Only Olga has them, and she won't give them to me. Why so? Well, last time when Olga and Slavia came out onto the porch. Olga, Semyon just wanted to ask you about the possibility of getting playing cards. Actually, for what purpose? We invented a new game. Not we, you did. What game? I need the cards to show you. I don't like this. Well, if Semyon is with you, then perhaps it's okay. To be really honest, well, go find some together. Olga? Yeah? If you don't mind, sure, let's go. If Slavia's going, let's go! We headed towards my cabin. Roughly halfway there, Slavia stopped. Hey, I just remembered, the cards are in my cabin. Good timing. And where's that? It's just down this road, let's go. We reached a cabin that, in fact, looked more like a trailer. Just wait here a minute, I'll be back. It took her just a few seconds to come back. There. She showed me the deck of pretty worn-out cards. These must be marked in and out. That's unsportsmanlike. What happened to fair play? Tell me about it. It's hard to cheat when you don't know the rules. Yeah, that's true. Shall we go? Let's go. On our way back, I decided to try and find out about something. How long have you been here? In this camp? About a week. I see. And where did you come from? I'm from the north. That is the cold north. She looked at me and smiled. Looks like nobody in the camp is inclined to answer even the most innocent of questions. I tried to approach from another angle. And what do you like? What do you mean? Your hobbies. Oh, I like nature. Strange, she's not very talkative today for some reason. Nature? I see. Want to become a real natural historian? More like a normal historian. I was always interested in our nation's history. That would suit her well indeed. It appeared that among all the locals, she was the only one who had nothing to hide. What if she came here just like me and simply could not trust anyone enough to tell? I tried testing the water. And why did you choose this camp? I didn't. My parents got a voucher for me from their work. Another failure. Well, if you could choose? That's nice. It's nice here. I don't think I would choose some other place if I could. Here, it's like you are becoming another person. That wasn't how I saw it. What do you mean another person? It's just that there's so many possibilities. You can learn so much, meet so many new interesting people here. Now she started to sound like our chief, which raised a red flag for me. I decided to stop with the questions for now. It's true, like, it's really hard to say, like, because everyone is sketchy about telling you anything. Like, nobody wants to tell you anything. So it's pretty suspicious, man, because no one wants to tell you anything. So it makes you wonder, are they hiding something? Is there some giant cosmic secret you're not supposed to know? It's hard to say. When we came back, Olga told Slavia. I just remembered that the cards were at your place. It's okay, we got it. Good. Slavia and Olga went inside. I was going to follow, but someone grabbed my hand. Alyssa. Her gaze sent a shiver down my spine. Not a nice one. You want something? I asked carefully. You're gonna play this stupid game? Yes? Something wrong with that? Nope, nothing. She was turning to leave, but then slowly looked back and smiled. So you play cards? A little. I couldn't figure out what she wanted. So only Dirac, and that's it? It's a popular card game in the USSR similar to President. I don't know President or obviously that one. So only Dirac and that's it? As if you're a poker star? Well, yes, technically. Then you don't have a chance. Why? Because. So you know the rules, of course. Well, then you'll have the upper hand. I couldn't see why we would go on talking and motion towards the door. Why do you keep trying to leave? Because you're frightening. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Let's make a bet. What do you mean? You're such a slowpoke. The cards, what else? And what do you want to bet on? That I'll win. That's quite a possible outcome. I agreed calmly. So are you afraid? No, I'm not. I'm not big on bets that I don't like when I don't like my chances. And you're not big on taking risks, too. Such an astute observation. I'm impressed. Right, then No, you're not. Now what? I sighed in exhaustion. She was starting to annoy me with her rubbish talk about some pointless bet. If you won't bet on me, I'll tell everyone that you tried to seduce me. What? You heard me. I could imagine her doing this. Don't be stupid. Who's gonna believe you? I've been here less than 2 days. Besides, you want to try your luck? Right. And what will happen if I win? I won't tell anyone anything. And if I lose, slowpoke mode again. I'll tell everyone you tried to seduce me. I told you already. So you're telling me now that I have to work to prove that I didn't do anything when I actually didn't do it. If that's how you want to look at it, not a simple decision. On one hand, it was stupid to agree. I didn't know the rules, and gambling wasn't my thing. All right, pause. I sense something dangerous coming up here. If they give me a choice, I'm worried they're gonna give me an actual choice. On the other hand, she could really make my life hell. Then again, could I even trust her? She can do it she can do it even if I win. So, you made a decision? I was gonna answer, but then suddenly Lena came around me from behind. What? Nothing? Lena hurried inside. So? Oh dear. Oh dear. I forgot I don't actually have to click on the actual window. Okay. I'm thinking we're gonna tell her where to shove it, and we're gonna chance that no one's gonna believe her. Well, based upon the reaction, we will reload our safe. No, I am not gonna participate in your shady business. Sorry about that. You wuss. She shrugged and went up the stairs. Before she went inside, she flung at me. Prepare to face the consequences. Consequences? What if I made the wrong decision? After all, she can really complicate things for me here. On the other hand, I couldn't just allow myself to be pulled into something so reckless. I let out a heavy sigh and followed her through the door. Like I said, we're gonna see what happens, and then we will reload if something really bad happens. Inside, everything was ready. A few pioneers stood here and there chatting. The tables were moved out of the way to make room for players and spectators. I looked around. Something was going on in the far corner. When I came closer, I saw a large piece of paper with a diagram drawn on it. My name was among the players. That's me, Shadow Guy. And who came up with all this? I patted Electronic, who was standing near. Well, of course, it was your most humble servant. He bowed to me jokingly. This made me uncomfortable to the point of squirming. And why in the world am I among the players then? I was disappointed. A few seconds ago, I thought I still had a slim chance to evade this tournament. Then I wouldn't have to fear Alyssa's revenge for not betting with her. But now that hope was gone. It was pure coincidence. Yeah, right, coincidence, except that I had already acquainted with every one of the contestants. While there were a few dozen other pioneers standing in the room, I was seized by anxiety. It's the feeling of being watched while standing in an empty room with no windows or doors. I can kind of get that, I guess. Will there be a prize? I asked him lazily. Oh, he said that too. Will there be a prize? I asked lazily. There you go. I wanted to distract myself with pointless conversation. Electronic was just about to answer when Ilyana came out of nowhere and started jumping around him. Prizes, prizes! I heard something about prizes. Do you know what is the main ethos of the Olympic Games? It's not the winning, but the taking part that counts. A what? No. You'll understand when you grow up. It's not the winning, but taking part that counts. That's pretty funny. She made a wry face and jabbed Electronic in the ribs. So what about the prize? Well, I don't know. It's not up to me. He made a helpless gesture. Really, if they came up with this stupid game, at least they could give the winner a chocolate medal or something. Ilyana suddenly jumped and raced off to somewhere. I wish I was that optimistic. So, what about the rules? Oh, wait a bit. Not everyone is here yet. I looked around the canteen. Alyssa, Slavia, Lena, Miku, and Shurik were here. It seems like everyone is here. Not everyone. Xenia isn't here. Does that feel uneasy? Does he feel uneasy or is it just me? She's not here, so what? Pick someone else instead. No, I can't do that, he answered slowly. No, I can't do that, he answered slowly. I decided not to ask exactly why he can't do this. Well, go fetch her or something, I don't know. He can't go, he's the host of the event. The camp leader appeared as if from nowhere. But, Olga, Electronic whined. Semyon will go, right, Semyon? She looked at me and smiled. Of course, who else? Where is she? In the library, I guess. Okay. I dragged my feet towards the door. Please hurry. What's Electronic's problem, anyway? I mean, everyone has something to hide. Everyone is suspicious. Everyone has something to hide. I am starting to not trust any of you. All right, sorry. Night is coming soon. I'm serious. Like, I have less and less trust towards all of these people. I feel like everyone's trying to hide something except for maybe Slavia, but I feel like everyone has something major to hide. My guess here, I'm wondering if there's some sort of giant cosmic secret that everyone is in on or something. And that's my guess. I'm wondering whether it's like a camp-related one or more like a how did I get from Winter Wonderland to here type of deal. It's some big secret that everyone knows about, or at least most people do, and everyone's trying to keep secret from you. Because there seems to be a lot of like secrets being kept around here, or maybe like Mr. Negative over here is finally getting to me. It's hard to say. Anyway, I was gonna take my time, so I slowly paced towards the library. But I found Xenia before I even expected. She was sitting on a bench at the square, staring at Genda, who was silent as always. Oh, look, she's the librarian. What are you doing here? Everyone is looking for. What are you doing here? Everyone's looking for you. Sitting here, as you can see. She frowned. Well, let's go. I don't want to. She looked away. Why not? I don't want to. I sat beside her. Listen, I don't like the idea of this contest myself, but we can't let everyone down. I surely didn't sound like myself there. A couple of days ago, I wouldn't even think of saying something like that. Xenia looked at me with surprise on her face. So everyone is waiting for me? Isn't that exactly what I said? Yes. I won't go anyway. She frowned and hid her face. Why? I gestured with my arms, wondering. I don't know how to play cards. So what? Same problem here. Then how can you play? What, you can only do things when you read about it in books or something? Of course. She was surprised. And what if you end up in Antarctica and have to rely on punting polar bears to survive? Polar bears don't live in Antarctica. Xenia smiled. Doesn't matter, it's just an example. Come on, it's not like someone's life depends on the result. She took her time to think. I just don't want to let anyone down. Right. I agreed sarcastically. Right. I agreed sarcastically. And don't you think anything funny about that? I don't even get what she meant, but anyway. Obviously, everyone has their weak spots. In a minute, we both were back at the canteen. Everyone looked at Electronic. So, he cleared his throat. Each round consists of one game. In a case of a draw, you replay the game. After this, the loser drops out and the next round begins. Since the number of volunteers, he looked at me, since the number of players is just 8, we only have 3 rounds. Is everyone clear? The crowd cheered. And what are the prizes? The prizes, what are they? Olya, cut it out. Or Ilyana, cut it out. Slavia stepped forward and tried to catch Ilyana. I won't rest until the prize is mine. Seems like this girl alone had enough energy for a warp jump to Alpha Centauri. I don't know. It's some sort of, like, I don't know, star cluster or something somewhere. Anyway, prizes, she repeated it over and over. Stop it. Slavia tried to reason with her. Electronic seemed to be getting dizzy from all this running around. Let's start already, I said calmly and added to Ilyana. Or you won't get any prizes. Looks like my argument got through to her, so she took her place. Slavia followed her, giving me a grateful smile as she passed. Oh, you're welcome, babe. You're welcome. The pioneers finally settled down. I approached the table that Lena sat behind. You don't mind? She looked up and blushed. Don't worry, I don't know the rules myself. And how can I be sure that it's only myself, that it's not only myself? I sat down. Turns out we'll have to play the first round together. Yeah. Finally, Electronic started to explain the rules. Oh dear. Look at the cards carefully. There are exactly 6 of them in front of you. Okay. Oh, I guess that's her hand or whatever. I hope everyone here knows how to count. Now you can look at them. Oh, these are some cool cards. Anyway, after everyone had a look at their cards, Electronic moved on. The rules here are similar to poker. I hope everyone knows how to play. Oh God, I don't know how to play poker. I mean, like, I keep trying to look up the rules, but everything seems it seems complicated. I don't really know how to play poker. Anyway, so I hope it's not really like poker. I know the rules, but I wasn't so sure about the others. I hope I don't have to play this, otherwise we are gonna lose. First of all, it's a top card, then 1 pair, then 2 pairs, then 3 of a kind. So on. So no flushes or straights though. In first round, you choose a card which you would like to take from your opponent. In turn, your opponent can choose to swap 2 of his cards around twice, or he can choose not to do so, if he doesn't need the card which you are taking. Take a note here that your opponent can see which cards are trading places. In the next step, your opponent takes a card he chooses, and so on. I think it's pretty clear. Thank God. Let's say that's not clear at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. It wasn't too clear to me. Hey, you, Einstein! Oyana yelled at him from her table. I didn't get a thing. Oh, thank God. You'll figure it out as we go. Electronic went to the table with the diagram, leaving Oyana to smolder in solitude. You go first. I hoped I could get my mind around the game fast enough. Lena, more perplexed than usual, reached out for my cards. All right, in the middle of the table, her hand stopped. Will you? Oh yeah, I should be protecting my card. What was it? Electronic said to try to confuse my opponent. I can swap 2 of my cards twice, or I could choose not to. Should I protect it or not? By the way, I can also agree and give her the card she chose straight away. Otherwise, Lena can change her mind and take another card if she wants to, or she might not. Arr! Oy. Okay. So she wants this card. Do I want to swap cards or just give it to her? Hang on. Things were becoming clear. I mean, I just didn't want to give her this one because the Joker is higher than a 2. But I don't know if, but obviously if it's if you're trying to build a certain hand or whatever, then, maybe the 2 is good. I don't know. Anyway. Things were becoming clear, or at least comprehensible. Now it's my turn. I could take back my card from her, or I could choose another one. I choose this one. Lena can try and protect her card, but if I watch closely, I can take the card I choose regardless of her movements. What do you mean watch closely? It's barely moving. It's right over here now. Yay, that's my 9. I earned it. I made it. Yay, I guess. Electronic, who was silently watching our game, nodded in approval. Looks like now we're getting somewhere. Are we? Hang on. We're not saving over this, because I still might need to backtrack. There we go. Now this will be my backup save. This is the save where I'm really worried. This will be my, I don't know how to play card save or something. Alright, now it looks like we're getting somewhere. Now during the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. Keep an eye on each other. Penetrate your opponent with your eyes. I'm not sure I like that idea. During the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. I chuckled. Penetrate. Oh man, he's as immature as I am. Dang it. All right, sorry. What's so funny? Oh, never mind. I tried to keep a straight face. He stared at me for a moment, then moved on. And then we turned the cards up to see whose hand is better. Oh Lord. Electronic went back to his diagram. Okay. So she's gonna take this. I don't want to give it to you. There. Keep the 3. I want this one. I still want this one. Nope, still want it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's my 3. Haha, I guess. Oh, man. Oh, she's going to take my ace. I don't think so. That's my ace. I said no. You can have your 3 back, though. Oh, she switched. Well played. I mean, are we just what? Just trying to build the higher? Are we just trying to build higher ones? She kept moving this one, so I grabbed it. That's the reason I got defensive. I wonder if I could psych her out by switching to a rando card. Ha, you fool! I wonder if I switched away? Will she switch? Ha! She got a 9 over the king. I feel like that's a victory. She switched away from this one. Whatever she switches to, that's the one I take. I feel like she's hiding something if I do. That's a 2. I was wrong. I know I failed. It was awful. I had a king and an ace, though. Yeah, I know. I'm really bad. It's still frustrating to lose anyway. It's just like, what? I have no idea how to play this game! Whatever. I left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. I'm just gonna hope that there's no cosmic, change in the universe from, winning or losing that game. You know what I mean? Where should I head to? Oh, now what? Now I got choices? Ah, God. All right, you know what? I'm gonna save over the card save because I really am not. I don't really feel like it's that important. Okay. I kind of want to go to the beach. To the beach. I came to the beach. I was not in the best mood, and I really had no desire to swim, but I still came to the water's edge and tried the water with my hand. The water was warm. Seems like it was still cooling down after such a hot day. Well, perhaps some other time I'll come back to swim. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. I just wanted to see. Okay, hang on, really quick. I just want to see something. Fun fact, there's a crazy lag spike when you try and reload. I just want to see. I wanted to get away. How could I ever lose in the first round? There was no excuse. The sports ground seemed to be the best place to be alone. Who would think about playing soccer? Sat down on a bench. Suddenly from the volleyball field, I started hearing what sounded like sounds of rasping or whistling. Aha! This is the... Oh, sorry, I was reading through it because I didn't think it mattered. But it did. That's what I was doing, is I was looking for people. Who was he gesturing to? To my astonishment, it was Lena. She was throwing the shuttlecock up in the air and attempted to strike it with the racket. However, to be really honest, she sucked at badminton. I was just watching for a while, then decided to go up to her. I went around the volleyball court and got inside so that she could see me. Elena was as timid as a deer, so I'd rather not repeat previous mistakes. Oh, it was her! I was looking for an attractive girl, to be honest. I was like, if they gave me choices, then someone must have something special going on. So that's the reason I reloaded, in case you're wondering. Hi. She glanced at me and immediately hid the racket and shuttlecock behind her back. You like badminton? Not really. I see you're not really getting it. Maybe you want some help? To tell the truth, I was not very good at badminton, but just like any other child, I used to play it from time to time. Let me show you. Thank you. She blushed. I want to join the badminton team, but I don't see it happening, really. I wouldn't even try today, but... I might have read that wrong. Oh, I can go back, possibly. I wouldn't even try today, but okay. Thank you. Alright. That's cool. I can go back and like look at the giant text. That's cool. Anyway, I never had any luck with cards, but it seemed like I was on fire today, so I thought it would be the same with badminton. After these words, I realized that losing to Lena is doubly surprising, or doubly upsetting. That's because I don't know how to play that game. I would never think of you as being so keen on sports. She blushed again. Oh, excuse me. Come on, let me show you. I took the racket, threw the shuttlecock up in the air, and struck it with such strength that it flew over the fence and got lost in the trees. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I didn't expect that from myself. Never mind. Although it was the last one. The last one? Well, let's go and get it. We'd better not. There is, in the forest... What's in there, a goblin? I laughed out loud. Maybe. It seemed like I was the only one joking around. There's no one there to be afraid of. Come on. Well, if you're with me. Haha, we're having a moment. This was absolutely worth reloading. I'm glad I'm well versed in games, and not necessarily visual novels, still kind of a noob in the visual novel thing, but I'm starting to get into them, and I'm glad my gaming sense was screaming at me, check the other locations! So, obviously I think that worked out well. We went out of the sports ground, and I started to inspect the trees. All of a sudden, the screech of an owl pierced the night. Aha, we're having a moment! It's working! It was worth it! Lena got so scared that she seized me with both hands, giving me something like a hug. The strong grip was a bit awkward. To feel a girl's body and its warmth so close to me, I was filled with tenderness. I had a deep desire to protect her and to guard her from anyone, even if it's only an owl or another nightbird. My only wish was to let this embrace last forever. However, all good things must come to an end sooner or later. After a while, I realized that it was an owlet. Probably, I think like, what is that, like a baby owl, who was screeching on a branch next to us. It was holding our shuttlecock tightly. It was. Is that what you were so scared of? Uh-huh. Take a look. It isn't scary at all. Lena looked out from behind my back. You're right. Not scary at all. Hey, wait a second. I gently got out of her hug and came closer to the owlet. At first, it seemed like it'd get frightened. God, I can't speak. And fly away, dropping the shuttlecock. But the owlet was still perching there. I succeeded in grasping the shuttlecock and carefully taking it from the bird. Hey, look, it's almost tame. Would you like to pet it? Maybe some other time? I handed the shuttlecock to Lena. Thank you. She smiled gently. I have to go. Good luck at badminton. Lena smiled again and hurried away to the camp. How sweet can a girl get? I know. That was absolutely worth it. Definitely worth it. All right, good. I feel like that was definitely a good decision there. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin, quietly stripped and laid on the bed. When you think about it, my situation hasn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I would have never have even thought about doing something like this in the real world, although I had plenty of time. How much time I would have here in total is still a mystery. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past, about how I got to this camp. For the first time in a long while, I felt really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but also physically tired, psychologically tired, and God knows what else tired. I just wanted everything and everyone and everything to shove off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess somehow resolved by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever? Then I'll have to get used to it. Yeah, I think you better just accept that reality just in case. So just like that, I'm not ready. Sorry, I was choking. Ahem. My consciousness slowly drifted away from me, and it became progressively harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. There we go. That's how it should be. Still wondering if that whole, like, working with Lena thing or you know, that mean girl thing or not is going to come back to haunt me. Still wondering. Still waiting for that. Wondering if that's going to come back to bite me. We'll see. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster, with a plot full of twists, well-played actors, and a multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain, but that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's true. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga was still sleeping, wrapped tightly in her blanket. Wrapped so tightly in a hot summer? I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I'd better shave. Strange idea, before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. Twice a month? Man, you have the slowest hair growth in the universe. I have to shave every other day. Anyway, whatever. And now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need it if I'm... What? Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9, and that means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not even that different from toothpaste. I mean, I guess that's fair. Maybe once it's really wet, maybe you don't notice. When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. Because of the lack of sleep, my head was still singing and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 hours more. You know, I'm having a thought. There were so many locations. I wonder if there was other things I could have looked at. One of my thoughts was the nurse, but whatever. Whatever. That was our decision. We'll go with it. Anyway, how come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief once again. I'll do it myself. Not a big deal. I'm on my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss it on the agenda for today. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could have managed to avoid enemy locations. Maybe so. You'll find that out at the lineup. She gave me a wry smile. A wily smile. Olga, you know, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, well, you know, I believe that's okay to miss a lineup once. It could get all nasty if I fail to control it right there. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and of course we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather, come on, let's hit the road. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, but the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do with the lineup. I feel like you're being a sissy and you should just do it. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. I feel like you should suck it up and go to the lineup. What does it matter? It's very short and boring, so just get over with. Anyway, well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed, and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seem to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. They don't understand what the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay, but this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of the Slavyanok camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the circumstances. I have to decide here and now, as those people involved, are these people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers, or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? It's hard to say. It seems I overdid it with a bit of thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen, or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. 2's company, 3's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at the enormous amphoris, some sort of lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seemed like a good idea. We could even chat in peace, or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly somebody grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. I'm just like, okay. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon? Isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. I mean, if she wants to talk to me that importantly, I say okay. I'm not sure why, but I accepted the invitation. What if I can learn something new? She is such a bookworm. Minutes later, I was sitting in front of Xenia with the tray and the simple meal on it. Porridge, 2 eggs, 4 pieces of white bread, and a sausage and a glass of compote. Bon appetit. Thanks. I decided to act as politely as I could and also eat more neatly without chomping and spilling crumbs of food or drops of compote. That word seems so goofy, sorry. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about? Today at the library, I wasn't listening from this point onwards. I immediately recalled Olga's words about the scheduled events for today. Oh, he's such an idiot. Like, if someone wanted this eagerly to talk to me about anything, I'd pay attention. The second she speaks, he zones out. I hate this guy. He's such a jerk. Don't forget. What? I said don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? Nope. I admitted honestly. Xenia's face turned red, then appeared green, then took on a soft purple color. Today, after lunch, you in the library. Got it, dunce? Dunce? What kind of curse is that? Though a pioneer must never use a curse word, how could I ever forget this rule? Oh yeah, sure, I apologize, of course, I'll be there. Actually, I wasn't really planning to go anywhere, but if you want to make someone speak, you need to sacrifice a bit first. By the way, what year is it now? I completely lost count. I decided to play fair. She looked at me perplexedly and answered, have you gone completely bananas? Honestly, that's how I felt for the past few days. Xenia didn't reply. So, what year is it? I smiled kindly. Listen, why don't you visit the infirmary? Will you tell me what year it is there? Will they tell me what year it is there? Certainly, and even more. Xenia stood up and headed to the exit. Wait, you didn't finish your meal, but it looks like she won't turn her back. This guy is an idiot, and I hate him. I finished chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. A pioneer sitting at the table next to me started talking to my... What? A pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. Some time later, I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do with that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. I disagree. Such benevolence is actually scary. I disagree. She may know something, but I hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to, not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse, who was standing on the porch. Hi there, pioneer. She came closer. You must be sick. Did you come for some medicine? No, I was just wandering around. Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me to make an inventory of the supplied medicine, which arrived today. Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. but what word could be confused with both? Hi. Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seems strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come here after dinner. I have explained something to Lena. She will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. So there are visitors to our camp today. Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. All right then, Pioneer. So tonight after dinner, you'll be there. I feel like she freaks me out the most. Like, I'm intrigued but terrified, and I don't know why. Maybe Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. No way, there are lots of boxes, and a Pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I feel like she knows things, dude. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this, and I've also got more important things to do, but rejecting this request would be really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing here, I would definitely think my way out. Oh, I'll be there. Nice. That's how a true Pioneer should answer. Whether it's you or you, I'm just happy to be there. Even after those words, I barely came a step closer to the be prepared, always prepared motto. Then you can go. I looked at Lena, who was still staring at the ground. I guess at the time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about the life and habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to become a somethingologist. A somethingologist or whatever. Where will you head next? Lena's words drew me away from the obscure thoughts. We'd been standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape this awkward situation. Although, why did I see it as awkward? Just don't forget, alright? Don't forget what? Well, tonight, after dinner, at the infirmary. Her face got a slightly grumpy look to it. No way, that's impossible. Alright. Right after dinner, I'm at your service. I thought too late. My words made Lena blush even harder. I need to find my way to ease the situation. Why did the nurse ask you to do it? I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench and reading a book, and then she came, and it's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. That's fair. Okay, well then, after dinner. Okay, I'll be off then. Yep, sure. She walked off somewhere besides the clubs, and I just stood at the square for some time. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Although having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly, I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. I listened to it carefully. Sounds like an electric guitar. The 3 repeating chords no more, but this melody still felt somehow warm, as if a vacuum-based, tube-based audio amplifier was used. Good lord, I can't speak. Obviously, it's Miku. She just said she could play like so many instruments. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. Oh, well, it might not be, but I still think it's Miku. I wonder who that could be. Yeah. This guy's a moron. He's always like, should I not investigate or shall I go and look at something fun? Idiot. Oh, it's Alyssa. I didn't expect that. Coming to the stage area, I caught sight of Alyssa on the stage. That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. She's very hardcore. The girl was giving it her all. With her eyes closed, she placed one of her legs upon the speaker and was swaying her body with the rhythm of the music. I couldn't recognize the melody, but I was pretty sure I'd heard it before. Probably something from Soviet rock. I could have named a dozen bands in this genre right off the bat, but I was hardly an expert. The song seemed really simple, literally just a 3-chord progression. Probably even I could have played it, given some time to practice. I wonder where Alyssa got her playing skills. In the USSR, such music had never been nationally acclaimed. The future rock star wasn't taking any notice of me. It was like she was trying to become one with the music, to resound in every note, in every bar, in every triplet. Or triplet? Triplet, whatever. Rock heroes of the 80s instantly came to my mind. Many of them were devoted to the music in similar ways. If she got dressed in something more suitable for the period's fashion instead of her pioneer uniform, no one would notice the difference. Her performance was coming to an end. Picking out a last couple of chords, Alyssa finally noticed me. Hi. Do you like it? She doesn't seem as surprised as I would have expected. Yeah, that was cool. As if you could do any better, smiled Alyssa slyly. I'm not saying I could do better. I'm not a pro in music. No doubt. Yep. I didn't know what to tell her next and was heading on my way. Wait a minute. What? Heard about the evening dance party? I thought it was a ball. Ball, dance party, what's the difference? She frowned. Yes, I did. So what? Are you going to go? After throwing those words, she turned away. I'm not sure. And you? What am I going to do there? Watch a herd of morons? There was some truth in Alyssa's words, but this open disrespect surprised me. It's clear that it's not the idea of a ball that she hates. But why? What do you mean by why? Well, why don't you want to come? Dance parties ought to be fun. Do you really think so? Annoyance flashed in her voice. I don't know, but I thought that you would. Never liked him. She interrupted me. There's absolutely nothing to do at such parties. I see. So what's your plan then? I asked just to keep the conversation going. I'll just carry on practicing. So what are you practicing? The song, dumbass. You even heard it? Alyssa had gone totally mad. A few more wrong questions and I'll have to run for my life. Wow, that's like the look of a serial killer. Who wrote that song? I did. So you wrote it by yourself? By myself. Cool. An awkward silence hung in the air. Okay then. Don't you want to listen? Didn't I just hear it? That's not what I meant, she pouted. The whole song, it's just a jam for now. Come on, do it then. Not right now. Well, don't do it then. I felt uncertain about what she wanted from me. You mean you don't want me to play? Seems like I frustrated her. I got ready for her to smash the guitar in my forehead or something even worse, but there was only an upset expression on Alyssa's face. I want to, I told you. Come here tonight then, I'll play it for you. For me? How cute. Tonight's a dance party. You said that you wouldn't go. I didn't say that. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to go, but messing around with this girl was no good either. Olga won't like it. Screw her, said Alyssa, getting steamed up. Don't make me choose. But if I go to the dance party, probably something good's gonna happen with the other girls. And Olga is like, or not Olga. I forget her. Alyssa, isn't that her name? Alyssa is pretty, but in a lot of ways terrifying. And I feel like if I go her over the dance party, it'll be a really scary thing. I don't want to choose, man. I would prefer to. There's other girls I like more, like Slavia, for instance, or even the nurse is kind of intriguing in a terrifying way, or Lena, is that her name? Olga is great, but Alyssa's not really top of my wooing list, so to speak. Let's just. I think I'm gonna say no. I mean, I'd prefer to go. Yeah, sorry, no. All of this wasn't really what I'd planned. Oh, screw off. Not that I was really interested myself. She clucked her disapproval and turned away. I was just wondering if the decision I made was a right one when suddenly I was interrupted by a ringing calling the pioneers for lunch. I worry about my choice, man, but I also saved it, so worst case scenario, I'll come back, I guess. I looked towards the canteen. I suppose it's time to go. Hunger is a sharp thorn. I turned around with an intent to call Alyssa to come along, but she looked so cheerless and down. Every musician should know when it's time to leave. I grumbled under my breath. Well, that was rude. Who is marching forward in a row? It is our pioneer squad. Pioneers in a row usually march to the canteen in the Slavyanok camp. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me like what happened before, just so that I could eat in peace. And for that I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I was pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether I want it to or not. The canteen was crammed as full as an egg. Olga was standing at the entrance, guarding it like a hawk. Well, Semyon, were you working hard today? Were you working hard today? Hard enough? Well done, truly well done, and the hardest is yet to come. I just bet. Fine, take a seat next to the girls. She pointed to the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sitting there. Not bad company, at least not the worst. I got my meal and went up to them. Well, hello, Slavia and Lena and the girl. And the child who I don't care about. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There was no other free places anyway. No, of course not. Please do. Lena remained silent. Today the meal consisted of a plate of something. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are something, with fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. Yes, of course. I wonder what's up with Lena. She seems super apprehensive about like tonight and super not happy. So I wonder if something even weirder is going to happen or about to happen or whatever. It's hard to say. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means that there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. Obviously, yeah, I turned down Alyssa to go. Of course I'm gonna go. Anyway, he'll come. He's got nowhere to go, Ulyana said happily. You'll come for sure. Of course, I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Yes, she replied briefly. See, you should go too then, said Slavia as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Apparently Ulyana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud, but I really had nothing to wear. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret. Will it be a little dress just like a kindergartner's mat and something? Uliana turned red. Looks like I managed to offend her. No, I'll wear a biohazard suit just so I don't catch an infection from you. I wonder what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me? Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course. Looks like Uliana was highly pleased with her, as she thought. Brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. Two can play at that game. What are you implying? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I looked away slyly. Do you mean that? She went red again. I don't mean anything. Guys, given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop. You're asking for it. You're going to get it. What, you'll finally wise up? Oh, dear. Instead of replying, Uliana grabbed her plate filled with food and tipped it over my head. This game meant an unexpected finale. Oh, you little. She jumped up and tried to run away. But this time, you won't get away. I grabbed her hand. What was his plan here? And now what? I can't just smash her head against the table. The, pantomime lasted a few milliseconds. The words stumbled me so bad. Suddenly, Uliana skillfully grabbed a glass of, the drink compote and splashed it in my face. The way she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter and I chased her. The result in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries, and full of exhaustion of both parties. A draw, sorta. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Wow. That was so incredibly immature. Tell me you won't behave this way again. And you? Olga snuck up to us from behind. When you think about it, such a riot couldn't go unnoticed. Well, you satisfied with yourselves now? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode. And who's going to clean up this mess? Exactly what happened. Who? I'm asking you. Who? Him, replied Uliana with complete confidence. Her, I objected less confidently. Both. The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. She's a little kid, man. You should just blow her off. Who cares? And now you're in trouble. You look like an immature child when you should have just left her alone. She is annoying. I agree, but completely just leave her alone. Ignore her. Kids hate that. Immediately she'll lose interest and leave. Why? Because she's getting no attention. That's why. Anyway, the camp leader brought a conclusive end to the argument. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers. Although Uliana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it. I'm not cleaning. Beat it. I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. Was she quoting a meme before, without even knowing it? This is his fault. He started it first. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all that nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some cloths, all that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you, she looked at Uliana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl. You shouldn't. You start to pick up the broken tableware immediately. Olga took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you? I decided to skip the lecture and went to the closet that appeared to be near the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? Sure, Olga had caught us already, but I'm not the one to blame. Of course, I'm not that true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Uliana, anyway, she's the principal culprit. It's not like I have nothing better to do than clean up the mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there, somehow flanked through my mind. Seriously? Seriously? I don't give a crap about Uliana, but I'm worried about what Olga will think about me. So, I don't care about Uliana, but I don't want Olga to be pissed, so. Nah, running away is hardly a good idea. For starters, Olga had caught us already, and dashing off would aggravate my punishment. Exactly! Haha! See? See? I'm gonna force you to be a good person, you idiot. And you can't stop me, Semyon. I'm gonna force you to be a good person. As well as that, I was indeed partially guilty. Yeah, because you're the older one who went down to the little kid's level, so you're a moron, you deserve this. Of course, it was all her fault. Oh, shut up. If I hadn't reacted like that, we probably would have avoided this thrashing. Exactly! Probably. You would have, idiot. I opened the cabinet and took out a broom, a mop, and a dustpan. Olga hadn't gotten anywhere near Uliana by the time wasn't anywhere near Uliana by the time I returned. Dang it, I missed her. She's gone? Can't you see for yourself? Uliana looked upset. All her youthful spirit vanished without a trace. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll go and wash myself a bit first. I shot her an angry glance and headed towards the exit. I washed the scraps of lunch off myself and returned to the canteen. Well, no escaping it. We have to clean it up. All because of you. Just a single gaze from her gave me the creeps. Of course it is. It's me who's guilty of everything. It's me who's a local nature hazard. Oh, shut up. Still, it's kind of strange that she's not trying to avoid this cleanup duty. Uliana had a solid opportunity to just run away and leave me alone, but somehow she did the exact opposite, diligently gathering broken plate fragments, mopping the floor, and cleaning up chairs and tables. In fact, she was so fast, I had a tough time keeping up with her. Well, now, aren't you suddenly acting all goody? Aren't you suddenly acting all goody-goody? It's not like I want to spend the whole day here, you dork. She still sounded irritated. Listen, you've got to understand that you can't behave like that. At least not to such an extent. For some reason, I decided to try and give her a moral lecture. I haven't done a thing. It was you who's calling me names. Olyana grabbed a bucket and a mop and went to the furthest corner of the canteen. Looks like she's still angry. Looking back at the mountain of broken tableware, I finally began to understand the scope of the catastrophe. We're lucky that at least forks and spoons are made of metal. We still have something to eat with. But there are hardly any plates left. Hey, Olyana called me with a shout. I went over to her. I don't get it. Why do you hate me so much? Because you're a brat and you're annoying. Her face became so serious that I was ready to believe it wasn't just another trick of hers. Why do you think so? I have no idea. That's exactly why I'm asking you. I don't hate you. It's just that sometimes you behave like, well, you know, as simple as that, but still true. Like what? I have no idea. She lifted her gaze to me, boiling with curiosity. Well, for starters, what's the big idea of pouring compote all over me? You were asking for it. She smiled for the first time since we started cleaning. Yeah, sure. I heaved a deep sigh. So what do you expect from others then? Nothing, she replied acidly. This discussion was over, so I still continued cleaning up in silence. It took us a few hours to clean up the canteen. At least all the broken tableware was gone. Chairs and tables were in the designated places. The floor looked clean. We were sitting together with Olyana next to the food counter, breathing heavily, deservedly resting. Now you can see how much effort to be put in because of a silly trick. Because I'm not tired at all. Although the sweat pouring down her face told the opposite story. Oh well, good for you. So, what are you gonna do next? I don't know about you, but I'd rather go. Nope, that's not all. You have to... She hesitated. Yeah, to help me with another little thing. Thinking of another silly prank? You bet. She was smiling broadly. I'm not your man here. I'm more than fed up with just one punishment for today. Okay, here's the deal. If you help me now, there won't be any more pranks. Sure, that was an inviting prospect, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to trust Olyana even for a moment. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So, what is your cunning plan? We're gonna steal the candy. What? I should have expected something like that. Candy's for kids. Soon the chef will go out to dump the trash. No one's gonna see us. Count me out. Aw, whatever. She grunted and turned away. Then I'll do it myself. And I won't allow... I couldn't even finish the sentence as Olyana had already jumped over the counter, ran to the cabinet, opened the door, and started rummaging through it. Hey, cut that. It's not like you haven't gotten enough problems with Olga. She didn't reply. You won't get away with just cleaning duty for something like that. Olyana closed the cabinet. She had a huge bag of candy in her hands. Ah, you little put it back. She stuck out her tongue at me and dashed off through the door. I couldn't just leave it at that. I darted off in pursuit. Sure, the girl had quite a head start, but I still funneled all the energy into the chase. I won't lose to her again. Ah, yes, here we go again. We ran through the square, turned at the music club building, and came out onto the forest trail. I almost caught Olyana, and when she stopped abruptly, I couldn't pull up as sharply as so I crashed into her, sending us sprawling. We rolled down onto the grass. I like how this is the first person I'm getting. I'm like, we're finally getting like super awkward with anyone, and it's the girl. Really? Of all the people here, it has to be her. I like her the least. I even like Alyssa more than her. Gotcha. I gave a victorious shout. No, you didn't, she replied with an ashamed tone. Olyana was lying under me. Her face was right next to mine. I felt her erratic breathing and the heat of her body. Sure, right now she's only a child, but soon enough she'll become a woman. It was pretty embarrassing. You gonna rape me? Oh my god, she said, come back to her sentence. You want me to? What? What kind of answer is that? Who is this guy? What? Why? Of all the people in the camp, why? God. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, it was more like a game to her. Sure do. She gave a cunning smile and snorted quietly. Or was it just my imagination? I'm not really in the mood. Oh, whatever. Olyana reached up and bit me on the nose. Oh, that was odd. I wasn't expecting that and even pulled back a little. Just a moment of hesitation was enough for her to wrestle out and run a dozen feet away. Watch it. You're gonna regret this later. She laughed out loud and disappeared into the woods. The candy bag was left lying on the ground near me. I wonder if she dropped it on purpose. It's getting near dinner time, so I had to hurry up and return the candy. And preferably, and variably, stay under the radar. Of course, I'll explain the situation. It was Olyana who stole them, but who's gonna believe me? Yeah, that's rough. Oh, that's even rougher. Olga was already waiting for me at the entrance to the canteen. Good job, Semyon. On what? I had the bag of sweets behind my back. The bag was transparent and too big to put in my pocket. I was talking about the cleanup. Everything is clean and tidy. Well, yeah. And where is Olyana? I wish I knew. She'll come soon. Okay then, go and have your dinner. I entered the canteen. To my utter lack of surprise, it was full. Now I really don't know how to return the bag without being noticed. Sure, I could do it in the evening, but what do I do with it now? Semyon, I turned around. Slavia was in front of me. Wow, what's that? She looked at the bag that I didn't manage to hide in time. Caught red-handed, or more like sweet-handed. Time to prepare for a scolding. These are sweets. Where from? I stole them, damn it. Got them from Ulyana. Oh, I see. Some same old song and dance? What do you mean? It's not the first time she's stolen sweets. And why am I not surprised? Let me handle this. Thanks. Slavia saved the day yet again. Yes, she did! She is the waifu we all need. She took the bag and headed to the buffet. I had no desire to listen to what she was going to say while returning the sweets, so I decided to look around the canteen looking for a place to sit. It seems that I will have to share a dinner table with Electronic and Shurik. No, not the guys! No! There's so many beautiful women. Why am I sharing with the guys? That sucks. There were no more places to sit. I guess that's fair. What's happening, gentlemen? Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them, or at least to drop some cheeky or cocky banter. Don't! Just be quiet. You're too stupid for your own good. It might be too risky to behave that way, but the Electronic brothers were my primary source of positive emotion. How you doing? Fine. What about you? Hits and misses. Did something happen? Lots of stuff. Mind sharing? Nah, some other time maybe. Suit yourself. We made a helpless gesture. He made a helpless gesture. We're going to the ball after dinner. Electronic giggled. I know that. Who would you want to ask out? I hadn't thought about it yet. What about you? Well, I seem to have this question caught him off guard. Ask Ulyana. That'd make her happy. No, thanks. Electronic furiously waved his hands. And you, Shurik, you gonna ask Alyssa? You gotta ask Alyssa out. Thanks, I'll pass. He looked calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys, it'd be fun. And in any case, we've got things to do. We still have to finish the robot. Ah, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out. Can it dance? It can't even walk yet. Shurik probably missed the point completely. Why, it would be a great demonstration of our achievements in front of the camp. And what would we show? And what would we show them? Yeah, you're right. They both stared at their plates disappointedly. Ah, yes, that was an exciting dinner. Oh, that's true. It didn't occur to me that we would have had a triple conflict. Let me explain. So first, Alyssa wanted us after dinner instead of the party to go and after the party to show us her song or whatever. But there are other girls, and we had to make a choice, so we decided not to. But then we also agreed to help what's-her-face with the inventory at the medicine thing, and there's also the ball. So it's like everything is going on. So we already had one of three choices, and we've already committed. So we're gonna have to go help Lena with inventory over the ball because we made a promise, man. We said we were, and that's what we're gonna do. And that's not this guy's reaction, but I'm gonna force him to be a good person. Dinner was over, and the pioneers started to disperse. What will you wear for the ball? I asked Shurik and Electronic. We don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. He indicated his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Why should I care then? Wearing my winter clothes isn't an option, so I'll just go like this. When does it start? After 9. Got it. Okay, so it's actually not a conflict. We have plenty of time, I think. I left the canteen and deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. I remembered those rare dances I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance. I didn't know how to react if someone had invited me. I wouldn't dare to invite someone myself. Dude, freaking same. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. Same. It was even more unpleasant to watch others having fun. Also same. It wasn't envy, more like it was a disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something so odd for me. I mean, I don't really get that necessarily. I thought that there was still lots of time till the ball, so I could sleep a little to be fresh for the evening. No, you idiot! You have to go help the girls! This guy's a moron. Enter the camp leader's cabin. I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. Oh dear. This guy's an idiot. Such an idiot. I awoke to realize I had missed my responsibility because I'm a retard. Strangely enough, I got up right on time, even without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish though. Probably it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. Well, I have to go. Yeah, we better go help Lena with the inventory. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the square. The loudspeakers and some DJ equipment were installed near the monument, and the trees were decorated with light strings. Typical country ball. A lot of pioneers were around, but no familiar faces, so I just sat on a bench and waited. I didn't want half to dance after all. Maybe I'll be able to sit and chat with someone. Hey there, sad face. Oh, for the love. Ulyana. Here to suggest something? Come on, let's dance. It's way too early. There isn't even any music yet. Blah, you're so boring. Yeah, I'm not the merriest person for such an event. She ran away. So Ulyana did wear something like an evening dress. Pretty funny. Whoa! Speaking of waifus! Hi, Slavia. Hey. She sat down by my side. How's the evening? Fine. Why are you so sad? I'm not. Okay, well, dancing will surely cheer you up. Maybe. Don't forget to save one dance for me. Oh, don't you worry, babe. All the dances are for you. She laughed and ran towards the music equipment. The situation was getting serious. I wouldn't be able to sit through this whole dance party. Whoa! Even more waifus are showing. So maybe was the inventory thing not today? I'm kind of confused. Whatever. Hey, just enjoy the moment. Maybe it was like tomorrow or something, or maybe it's after this, even later. Like, I don't know. Whatever, because even she's here. So maybe we weren't locked into that. I don't know. Hi. Lena came closer. Oh, hi. You're here too. Is that such a wonder? Yes. Okay. Gonna light this party up? The joke fell flat. Lena blushed and looked down. Well, maybe that's not the best idea, setting things on fire. Okay, then I guess yeah. Wow. Well done, you idiot. She left. This guy's a moron. He's the most awkward person ever. I could be more smooth than that. It looks like the whole camp was at the square. The pioneers formed large groups, talked, joked around, and laughed. At the DJ's panel, Ulyana argued loudly with Olga about the playlist for the evening. And here it is. The music started to play. I didn't know the band or the song, but if you ask me, I really felt I'd tag it Soviet pop classics. The pioneers just stood there for some time, as if not hearing the music. It's always hard to take the first step, especially if you're pretty sure that you'll be the only one that'll take it. Ulyana seemed not to grasp the simple truth. She reached the center of the square with a few bounds and cried out loud, "What are you standing around for?" and started to wiggle ridiculously. Wiggle is the exact word. You couldn't find a better one. It looked so silly and funny that I couldn't resist laughing. She noticed it. Hey, Semyon, I pretended I couldn't hear her. Stop pretending, come over here. All she knows. I kept ignoring her. The pioneers slowly realized that they weren't too sexy for this party and started to dance. It looked really silly from my point of view, shaking one's arms and legs to the beat of long-forgotten hits. Come on, get real. Of course I couldn't dance at all, but this thing couldn't be called a dance either. Hey, Semyon, why are you sitting there for? Don't you want to dance? If it's with you, yes, I do. I was so deep in thoughts that I hadn't even noticed Slavia. Not really. Are you sure? She smiled. Maybe later. Damn, what am I even doing here? One more invitation to dance would completely ruin my pride. I started to think about an appropriate excuse to leave and was looking for the moment to do so, and then I saw Lena. She was slowly heading my way. Maybe we should go? Where to? I was so immersed in my thoughts that I didn't really get what she meant. Oh, it is the thing! I was surprised because she dressed up. I was surprised. To the infirmary. Ha, it was today. But if you want to stay here and dance, I doubt she was going to dance. Lena had stood aside the whole evening. No, I'll pass. Let's go. At least I won't have to stand here like a shy nerd. I mean, that's fair. Seriously, trying to conceal myself in the corner wasn't very pleasant. A bull in a china shop would be more agile than me on the dance floor. I hadn't even the slightest invitation of dancing in the first place. Or initiation? He didn't want to, whatever. Well, should we go to the infirmary? Lena brought me out of my thoughts. We'd just been standing in the canteen for some time. Yeah, sure, thank you. What for? She looked at me in surprise. Well, for getting me out of there. I shouldn't have told her about that. Dancing is not my thing. It's, so boring there. Seems to be you don't like dancing. There was not a trace of sarcasm on her truthful, even childlike face. Seems like she really doesn't understand. Yes, don't like it at all. Not into it. Me too. No one ever invites me to dance. Lena blushed and stared at the ground as usual. Strange? What's strange? Well, that no one ever invites you. You think so? Again, she looked at me with an expression of surprise and a lack of understanding. I got confused and couldn't find what to say in return right away. Yeah, certainly. If I like dancing, I would have invited you for sure. Thanks. That was so cute in both of their awkward ways. We didn't say a word for the rest of the way. Lena obviously felt too confused by my awkward compliment that I just didn't know what topic to choose for conversation. And I just didn't know what to choose. It was completely dark by that time, and the gloomy building of the infirmary, covered in the night mist, looked strangely like a haunted house. I felt a strong desire to turn around and walk away without making any noise. I threw a quick glance at Lena and noticed that she looked like usual, shy, modest, uncertain, but not in any way scared. It just made me even more uncomfortable. It can't be that she's not scared, while Suddenly a owl hooted nearby, and I shivered. Lena seemed either not to notice it, not pay attention to it, or just not be scared by it at all. I hardly could believe the third option, but I didn't want to ask her about it, giving away my own fear. Yeah, don't be such a sissy! Go inside! I entered the infirmary and found a switch in the dark. Will the nurse come later? She won't come. Okay, she won't come. Understood. Wait a second. Well, what do you mean she won't come? Ah, I see. Is it not that it's not that I'm afraid to be alone with Lena, indoors, at night, with no one around. Only in movies does something happens with such circumstances. It's just that I am with Lena and not with Ulyana and Slavia. And it certainly changed my attitude towards what's happening. Yeah, Lena and Slavia and Olga are like the dream team. Oh, and I guess the librarian's really cute, and the nurse. I mean, there's so many options, but whatever. There are the boxes. She pointed at the messy stack of boxes. There were about a dozen of them. It would take much more than 10 minutes of work. I put one of the boxes on the table before me and started to take out its contents. They were bandages, lots of little packs of bandages. Here, take this. Elena gave me a piece of paper. There were some fluids, and I quickly realized that I should put my name on it. Or some fields, not fluids. There were some fields. The description in the middle, if there is one, and the quantity in the right field. It's not a database, but it'll do. The work started in full swing. Semyon. What? I looked at Lena. She looked at me, or she stared at me for a couple of moments before, or seemingly making up her mind to do or to say something, and then lowered her gaze again. No, never mind. It was physically hard for me to just sit there without saying a word. However, I didn't dare to speak first, not only because I couldn't think of a good topic for conversation, but that I was just feeling shy. This girl could easily be embarrassed by anything. Semyon. Yes? You are counting them all over again. Indeed, I had started to take out and put into the database the bandages I had already counted. Oh, sorry. She didn't answer. Hey, where are you from? I mean, like, where did you come from? Meaning, where were you born? I mean, where do you live? Well, there is a town not far from here. Not far from here? Where's that? Somewhere. It doesn't look like she wants to talk about it. Is Lena hiding something too? It is inexplicable in the case of Olga, but in Lena's case, it is absolutely not like her. Is it a secret? No. So is it somewhere in the south too? I should have thought of something more original. Every single one of my sudden ideas turns out the wrong way, and this attempt to play spy worked out even worse. And I thought about South just because the only pioneer camp of the Soviet Union I remembered was Artek. Yes? Lena hesitated to reply. I couldn't quite tell if she was lying or not. Don't you like it here? I wonder what part of what I said made her think so. Absolutely not. I like it here. My false friendliness sounded very insincere, grating on the ears. What about you? I like it. It's so calm here. There are lots of books in the library, and the people are nice. Nice, but not all of them. Why? Did I really say that last bit out loud? Turns out I did. Well, you know. Ulyana, for example. She's like an Energizer battery with a completely unbalanced point of power application. Battery? What? Maybe I really was sent back in time. Never mind. Oh, or Alyssa, the saying a pioneer is for kids role model certainly doesn't describe her. If everyone started following her example, it would be a complete disaster for the country in 20 years or so. However, thinking about it now, you can draw the conclusion that everybody did follow the example of Alyssa in the 80s, where I probably am right now. She's not like that, actually. Not like that, not like what? Not like what you said about her. To begin with, I hadn't said anything. I was just stating the fact that she's not the best example to follow. Well, maybe. Sounds like you know her well enough. Probably. I asked that question only to keep the conversation going and didn't expect an answer like that. Alyssa and Lena were so different. The idea that she could be close was unbelievable for me. We came from the same town, as if she had foreseen my question. We had common friends, even though Alyssa is 1 year older. Okay, it's a little bit strange. Or not like that, I'm just surprised. Everybody gets surprised. Lena smiled a bit. I took the second box. Something, activated charcoal, something else, activated charcoal, saline solution, something else, another thing. Lena always spoke in simple sentences. How can I communicate with her if every single conversation turns into a monologue or just an awkward silence? I wasn't quite satisfied with such a state of things. Sometimes it looks like she's hiding something behind her mask of shyness. But what? You know, I read a book not that long ago. Do you like science fiction? Not much. Damn, another failure. Well, if you don't like it, then what books do you like? Different kinds? The conversation wasn't going smoothly, and I had to turn it off for the better. Who knows why, but I thought about the dance again. Feelings of uneasiness, discomfort, and even shame overwhelmed me once more. Looks like I'm not that different from Lena when it comes to such things. I'm shy and afraid of things I don't understand or can't do. I should probably overcome my own fears before anything else, and this will help me understand her better. I've made up my mind. There are only a couple of boxes left. Yeah. Hey, I've got an idea. How about we go to the canteen afterwards? I think the tape recorder was taken back there. What is it doing in the canteen? I hesitated. What for? Her sincere look made it clear that she hadn't the slightest idea what I was going to offer. Well, frankly speaking, I just don't know how to dance. That's why I don't like it. That's the reason I was so confused back there. Maybe I could thank you by dancing with you. But she stopped sorting out the medicine for a moment, blushed, and looked right into my eyes. I got a bit stubborn. It really was a good idea. It's okay if you don't want to. I don't insist. What if someone sees us? I certainly didn't think about that. It's not a big deal, but everyone is asleep already, and no one's going to the canteen tonight. How will we get in there? I should have thought about it beforehand. Well, I did have Slavia's keys, but I didn't want to mention them. Someone could get the wrong idea about me stealing them. That moment I regretted that I still didn't get my cell phone from the leader's cabin. Anyway, I had to say something to get away from this awkward topic. What kind of music do you like? Different kinds? I'm not really into it. Then let's imagine that it's playing now. I mean that we hear it playing. How's that? Like it plays in your head. I still remember the melody the pioneers were dancing to. The music and words were really clear in my memory. I'm not sure I can do it. You could just try. Probably. I've got her consent. In Lena's case, even that probably could be considered yes. Ooh, progress. Possibly are we helping the poor shy girl? We silently ported medical supplies for the rest of the time, writing down their names and quantities. I should pay more attention to every word I say after such luck. I stayed silent most of the time, though. Soon we finished the last box. I gave Lena the filled-in list and started to stare at her like I saw Bigfoot riding a unicycle with juggling piglets. That is quite the analogy. It was amazing, frightening, and above all mesmerizing. She suddenly broke out laughing. What? That look of yours. What about it? It's just funny. Really? Yeah. So, where are we gonna go? Where? Her last words unsettled me. I completely forgot what we were talking about. Frankly speaking, I completely left this world for a moment. Well, you know, to dance. Lena blushed right away, and her face took on a strange expression of shyness, uneasiness, and fear. Ah, yes. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. Let's go to the pier. I don't know why I chose that place. Maybe because you could run into a pioneer at the square, the residential area, or near the canteen, but not on the pier. I thought at least. Or maybe because of the large bright moon reflecting on the water at night. And it is a full moon today. I don't know how, but the solution just offered itself. If you don't like it, then we can... No, that's a really nice place. Ooh, Lena and I are having a moment. Lena locked the door, and we made our way to the pier. Night fell on the sleeping camp. Should we follow the road? Why? It'll be faster through the forest. There's a nice path there. Well, there could be, what, an owlet? Or who, an owlet? I laughed. Oh, you. A shadow of displeasure crossed her face. Never mind it, sorry. If you want to. Okay. But can I... Hey, we're having a moment! Without finishing, she grabbed onto my arm. Is it okay with you? Now it was my turn to blush. Of course. We walked through the forest. It was hardly a forest, though. More like a small grove between the camp and the pier. About 100 meters long. I would never think that there could be anything to be afraid of, even on my own. But it just seemed like Lena's fear was contagious. The branches swayed over us. I shuddered, and Lena clung onto my arm even more strongly. Don't be afraid. It must be a squirrel. Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. We reached the pier. The night was really beautiful. I walked closer to the river and called Lena. Look. The pier, the boathouse, and the moon were reflecting in the water. It looked like another world, with the surface of the water being the door to Wonderland. You could just jump and find yourself on the other side. May I have this dance? I extended my hand to her. I accidentally skipped too far forward. That's my bad. I extended my hand to her and bowed clumsily. There we go. Now we know. We might have missed that little detail. All right. Okay, this is where she's like, you know, bet or not bet, idiot. And then this is where we turned her down for the whatever it's called. So let's make a third save. I like options. I like options. Lena hesitated. I must have overdid it with my mannerism. There's nothing to fear. I'm not good at it either. Why either? She never said she couldn't dance, although it was kind of obvious. Okay. Hey, we're having a moment with someone that's not a small child. Woohoo! Progress. He's not being a freak. Anyway, Lena gave me her hand. I led her a bit aside and gently put my arms around her waist. We just stood there like that for a few moments. And what next? Well, I don't know. Do you remember that song? Barely. But I remember. Great. Let's waltz like in the movies. How's that? Instead of answering her, I carefully started to move in a circle with Lena. See, all you have to do is sway. It's very simple. Just sway, slightly turn. It's very easy. Even I can do that. I don't because I have no rhythm. But even I can do that. See? Not that hard at all. Yeah. We waltzed for several minutes, or whatever you could call it. I felt her warmth, though we were not that close to each other. Her chest heaved heavily, and her face started to blush more and more. Lena didn't look at me, averting her eyes from one side to another. I suddenly realized that I had never felt anything like this before. It was tenderness overtaking reality, as if I found myself in another, better world. I realized that I didn't want to let this girl go, and that I would give up anything just to go on waltzing with her forever. I clasped Lena tighter, and only then did she look straight at me. There was surprise and confusion in her gaze, but no fear whatsoever. She wasn't afraid of me, and she didn't push me away. And you said you couldn't dance. I really can't. I was so confused. I didn't expect that reaction from her. Where was her confusion, shyness, and fear disappeared to? Hey man, the attraction is overwhelming it, and that's perfect. That's beautiful. You too dance pretty well. I know. A playful smile across her face. Or maybe it just seemed so to me? No, I swear I saw it. How is that possible? The image of shy and modest Lena didn't fit together with this moment at all. What should I say? What should I do next? I could only keep on waltzing with her in this dance, which was getting stranger with every passing minute. Semyon, where are you? The voice came from the edge of the forest. Damn, worst timing ever. Semyon, it was Olga. She must have been worrying because I should have been back a long time ago. I should have guessed that tireless camp leader would start searching for a lost pioneer. I should have warned her beforehand. There's no point in thinking about it now. Dang it! Olga, you ruined it! We were having such a good moment! Lena looked at me questioningly. Being seen together would not be the best thing. Why? Let's go tell her everything is alright. No, let's hide and return to the camp later. Her idea was strange, or everything was going so well. At least something was starting to work out, or it seemed like it did. But what was that something? It's love, you moron! Anyway, okay then. I decided not to argue. It wasn't appropriate in such a situation. Olga shouted for a while and left. Let's go. Yeah. We had such a good moment. Lena didn't grab onto my arm on the way back. I was a little bit frustrated, but wasn't clear enough to take the first step, or wasn't certain enough. We kept silent again. It wasn't that typical of Lena to start a conversation, and I just didn't know what to say after everything had happened at the pier. She kept looking at the ground on the way back, keeping her usual expression. What a bizarre change, or to be more precise, what was bizarre was that smile on the pier and Lena's words. You see, it's because she loves you too, idiot. She stopped at the pier. Well, I have to go. Okay. Thank you for today. Yeah. Lena turned around and headed to her cabin, and I kept standing where I was. What the hell was that? That dance, a sudden change in the mood, and then everything was back to normal. It was like I was embracing another Lena in that short moment. That's right, she wasn't herself. She seemed a completely different person. Maybe I don't know her well enough. Obviously. I had a feeling before that Lena hides something under her mask of shyness. I agree. It takes much longer than 2 days to understand someone. Damn, what should I do? Maybe I was just seeing things. You were not seeing things. You were having a moment. Let it happen. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping, so there was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? Yeah, Olga's probably not going to be happy. When I was almost at the door, I heard a noise behind me. The branches of the bush near the trees rustled as if someone moved there. There shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. That very moment, I rushed to the direction of the noise, forced myself through the bushes and looked around. It was too dark and I didn't see anything or anyone. There was no point in going in. Even if someone was watching me, he must have been gone already. I went back to the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake. Yeah, there's probably going to be... Whoa! Mama! Olga, I didn't expect that. Semyon, where have you been? What do you mean, where? Me and Lena had been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would do that in the evening. Really? When was that? Took you long enough. I was at the infirmary about half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off. Well, we decided to have a nice little walk. I'm fretting about you while you're out having a walk. Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand next time. Please do. Go to bed. It's late. I can't help agreeing with her. Oh, man. She was looking nice. It was, by any measure, a hard day. I was too tired to think about the evening's events, and I doubt I would have any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I practically haven't spent a minute on looking for answers. Cause there is no answers to look for, except reality, pal. This is better than where you were. Before you were a shut-in with no future, and now you have this. I say stay. Like, let's let this happen, man. Let it happen. Let it play out. Anyway, moreover, I have been avoiding it as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena. The time I spent with her was much more important than all my attempts to return to the real world, because it is more important. I could worry myself for a long time, trying to understand what I did wrong and what I didn't do at all, but exhaustion overcame me. It's meant to be, man. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Day 4. I wonder if there's going to be like 7 days or how that's going to work out. But we're definitely going to have to call this episode here. Okay, I'm tempted to play this. What the hell's happening? Oh, it's his alarm. Okay, thank the Lord. All right, I feel like saving it over slot 3 is where we'll save it. Beautiful. All right, well, that'll be a great place to call this one. We made great progress today. I think we got through, what, 2 days? Because, yeah, we got through like 2 solid days. That was awesome. I am intrigued, honestly. At first, the first episode was a little bit rougher for me. I was not quite as invested, but I am invested now. I do really like the girls. I like the people. I want to make this guy a better person against his will. And it's just lots of good stuff is coming, and I want to see the story. I want to see what happens. And I'm very, very excited to keep playing. So that's great. And I think uploads for tomorrow should be normal. I will be recording Saints Row right after this, so if you are interested in Saints Row, it will be up after this episode if you're seeing this. And then sometime in the next couple days, a positive anime review should also be coming out, which will be very exciting. Uploads for this week should be pretty normal. I might have some obligations which might throw off my schedule later on in the week, but at least for today and tomorrow, most likely nothing should change, and so that should be fine. Anyway, that is going to call it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.